Okay, Laura. So, I am going to use Amadeus for some puppy 101 handling. So, we all uh, tend to love to have puppies, and we pick them up and we hold them up to our face. Well, whether it's a small or a large breed dog, by doing that, you inadvertently are teaching your puppy that its place is at eye level. So as your puppy grows and matures, that is the root of where jumping can come from. So they're constantly jumping up and trying to get back at eye level. So the reason for this video is for a very dear friend who is staying home like most people during this time. And she now has a Great Dane puppy. Anybody who's familiar with a Great Dane knows that they become, once fully matured, quite large. Think of Marmaduke, and super cute, big kind of clowns that grow into their feet. So anyway, the purpose of the video is to help her long distance, but I know that it'll help a lot of people. And even though I'm gearing this towards puppies, you can do all of this even with an adult dog. So as you can see, Amadeus is quite used to being handled and a little bit much of an attention hog. So we have our puppies. So things that we need to do is touch our puppy's feet, separate their toes, manipulate their little nails, and the purpose for this handling is to get them used to something different sensations, because God forbid, down the road, something gets caught in their toe, they're in pain. By handling their feet and their toes and their nails, they're going to trust you to alleviate the pain or find the cause, instead of being reactive and trying to stop you from touching an area. A dog in pain, when you go to, when you go to alleviate the pain, it's a fight or flight. They are either going to try to get away from you, or they're going to try to stop you. And they don't mean to be aggressive, but a dog in pain is more likely to bite. And no matter how much you love the dog, I know how much the dog loves you, it is just nature. It is just something that will happen, especially if the dog is not being used to being handled. The younger you start handling your dog, the better as an adult they are as far as handling goes. And that goes for handling by the vet, handling by a groomer, your friends and family who maybe are not often in the home. So back to handling. So handling the toes and manipulating the feet, moving these legs, stretching them, all of these things that you can do with your dog. Now you're not going to want to rank his leg up all the way over here. You want to stick with natural movement. So I mean, the shoulder is here, but I'm manipulating the joints by moving his leg forward and back. For puppies in my training class, I teach a leadership exercise. And this is a very passive way to establish dominance in the pack. And in your dog's world, your household is a pack. It is your puppy or your dog has been removed from its normal environment for what it knows to be. So as I said, we're talking about puppies, so it leaves the litter. Mama's not there. So mama does things like grab puppies here at the top of the muzzle. Right here in front of the eyes at the top of the muzzle is a little gland that releases dopamine, the feel-good endorphins that happens with humans also happens with dogs. So you can use this to stimulate by rubbing to help naturally create that endorphin, which also helps soothe and calm your dog. So along with some command words is what I teach to help calm a dog when they're getting all riled up. But more importantly, for this exercise of leadership, while the dog is just laying calmly, I do stimulate this. And you can see Amadeus just kind of goes and he lays down, and he knows that this is a good thing, and he enjoys it. So petting your dog when they're laying, now a large breed dog, adult-wise, is going to be a lot more difficult to do this. Fortunately, Amadeus is used to it because I use him in training. So you're going to take your puppy, and you're going to put him on your chest, and you're going to support his back. Whoops. Hey, we're going to do this. Come on, lay down. Hey. No, we're not playing. Come here. Excuse me. Good boy. Hey, no. So, all right, back to the leadership. As you can see, Amadeus is used to also having play time. But anyway, so you're gonna take your puppy. You gotta relax. Come on, come here, come here. Sit, sit. Come on, come on. Hey, hey, stop. We're not playing. We're not playing, okay? We're not playing. Come here. Now, lay down. Come on. Oh boy, mommy. There we go. All right, good boy. So I want you to imagine, since he's being so resistant, that his spine is actually in the middle of my legs. And like I said, I'm trying to gear this more towards a puppy. So you want to have the belly facing up. And then I'm gonna just kind of let you imagine that this side of my dog is actually his belly. So you would be petting and you would be telling him to relax and to settle because he's a good boy. And my body is supporting the structure of my dog or my puppy. Obviously, the smaller the dog, the easier this is going to be. If it's a really smaller breed dog, you can just lay the puppy on its back, supported by your legs, the spine laying in between the legs so that the spine doesn't have any pressure on it. And you would just hold your dog, and you can feel when a dog is tense. And with this exercise, you're just going to hold him and pet him and support him. And as I said, you can rub right up here in between the eyes to help him trust. And it is a matter of trust, and help him to relax. And you'll feel the body just kind of go limp and relax. And when they're on their back, sometimes you see their paws go from this to this. And so this exercise, you can't do it enough. The more you do it, the better you're asserting yourself in the dog's mapping of pack position as alpha. So you're putting yourself here. You have multiple dogs in the house. You want to do this when you only have maybe one dog present. If you can, first do this exercise with no dogs present in the area. You have to get this dog to understand and trust you first before you start introducing other pack members into the household when you have multiple dogs. And I say this because my girlfriend, who I'm mainly doing the video for, has, we'll say 5 for now. Most households don't typically have more than 5 pets, or they have 4 and they're introducing a pet into the household. Yes, she has more than 5. For her, she will do this exercise without any other pack members present. She will also have other human pack members do this exercise so that the dog understands the humans are above the other animal pack members. And then slowly introducing other 4-legged pack members being present when she's doing this exercise. So she does have a 4-legged pack member who is a little bit more bossy. So that pack member is going to be the last one to be introduced because she is going to assert herself on her own when as the puppy starts to navigate the household and the routines of the house. So while you're doing this exercise, as your dog relaxes, you can start inspecting your dog. So you want to be putting your fingers deep into the ear canal. You're not doing anything. If they're dirty, you can take witch hazel or just warm soapy water on a cloth rag, not sopping wet, just so that there's some moisture and you can wipe out the ear. If you do that often, that helps your vet. That also helps your groomer, because those are things that those two particular professionals are going to do when they have your dog in their care. Now, eyeballs. So we want to lift and lower the eyelids. Most people, some your dogs get eye boogies, so you want to clean out the corners of the eyes and handle this daily. As your dogs get older, they can develop things like glaucoma. If you have a dog that likes to stick its head out of the window, I'll get onto that, whether you should or shouldn't do that, but let's just go on the premise the majority of the population do. And when that happens, you're driving down the road, debris can be flying and it can end up in the eye, and now your dog has an eye injury. If your dog's not used to you handling the eye or inspecting, then you're going to have problems when it comes to taking the dog to the vet and having to apply medication. So handling has multiple applications, whether it's your vet or your groomer having to assist you in care, or even yourself having to do home inspection or home first aid before you get to your vet. The other area that you want to, and with puppies, you're always in their mouth, is you want to go in the mouth purposefully. With a puppy, you're taking things out of the mouth all the time. I want you to go into the mouth. I want you to open the lips. I want you to stick your finger into the far back of the jaw, way back here. There are no teeth, and you just get used to, your dog needs to get used to your finger being back there. He can't bite you. For puppies, the teeth are little razors, but you want to be able to have your dog trust that when your hand is in the mouth, that it's okay. Now, this is going to happen. My finger is in the back of the jaw where there are no teeth. And if I move my finger just outside of that little groove, he'll still lick. I'm there, but he's permitting it. He is being tolerant of my finger being in the mouth. He doesn't particularly care for it, but he's not fighting me and resisting me. So getting used to that also gives you the ability to inspect your dog's teeth. Periodontal disease happens with dogs, especially older dogs. This guy is 7 years old. So he's got old man poodle breath, which means I need to be brushing his teeth more often. And yes, you can brush your dog's teeth. I have that in another video. And the more you do that, the more you're helping the care. Now, a lot of people are like, well, my dog's fine. I shouldn't have to worry about it. Just like with humans. Periodontal disease, receding gum lines, plaque buildup can all contribute to cardiac infarctions and cardiac arrest, just like in humans. If a person has bad teeth, the bacteria gets into the blood supply and then it travels to the heart and you can have heart problems. I know of a few clients who have lost their dogs because the root cause of their dog's heart attack was bad teeth. So getting back into the mouth. Now the other thing is opening the mouth and touching the tongue. See his tongue back there? You can just touch it and getting him used to you going in purposefully, not because you're taking something out, but because you want to be in his mouth, is also asserting that you're the dominant pack member. But again, helps the other professionals in the course of your dog's life that your dog is going to encounter. The vet, the groomer. So hopefully these tips have helped you. Just remember, this leadership exercise is on your body. I'm leaning way back and resting on the door because he is so long. And with a Great Dane puppy, eventually he will be that long. But right now, at the age that she has him, she could sit straight up and support his spine throughout her whole legs, but you'll have to be on the floor. You want your legs flat on the floor, unless you have a small breed dog that pretty much fits in the top half of your lap from the knee to your hip. But I still would err on the side of caution and bear in mind that when you're dealing with a puppy, you're setting expectations and you want to be on the floor when you're doing anything with your dog. Your dog belongs on the floor, which also resembles the lower ladder of the pecking order in your household. If you are on furniture and you're allowing your dog on furniture, you're raising the level of pecking order for your pet. That is entirely up to you. It's not a bad thing. But with puppies, most every time in my training classes, I teach that you do everything that when you're interacting with your puppy on the floor. It sends a very different message when you're working with your dogs. I hope this has been very helpful. Sorry for the interruption because of Playboy. Leave your comments and we will get back to them. And the more comments and the more questions and suggestions for videos, I will take those and try and get those out to you. So please like and subscribe and have a wonderful day.